What's up? How are you? I hope that you guys are having an amazing day today. In today's video, we're going to be reviewing the whole entire collection from NATASHA DENONA. I just got my package yesterday and it was really late in the afternoon, so I could not film because I was filming the previous video that I just uploaded, which it was the Haus Labs foundation review. So if you haven't seen that one, I will link it somewhere up here or down below in the description area. But in today's video, it's all about NATASHA DENONA. I already pulled some of the palettes that I think could be similar to her Dreams palette, but I haven't even seen it yet. So let's go ahead and open this package together. But before we do, please don't forget to like and of course subscribe to my channel if you are into beauty. We talk about a lot of makeup stuff right here. We do makeup tutorials, reviews, and all of that good stuff that has to do with makeup and more makeup. So if you are into that, then you're definitely going to like this channel. And of course, you can also click the little bell that will notify you whenever I upload a new video. And without further ado, let's get on to the video. Onto the package. Here we have everything nice bubble wrap. Everything is individually packed. So let's go ahead and just see the eyeshadow palette because that's the most exciting part for me. And here we have the eyeshadow palette. Absolutely, I love the packaging. I know some people are iffy about it, but I really do like the artistic side of it. The palette looks exactly like the box, which I really do like. You do feel like it's raised up a little bit on the black part and it's more shiny than the beige matte part of the palette. And all of the shadows look good. This palette retails for $69. It is made in Italy and it does have a shelf life of 24 months. I absolutely really enjoy her midi palettes. I think that they're really great, especially for what you get in the price point that you pay comparing it to her bigger palettes. Let's go ahead and now look at this little face palette. It is called My Dream Cheek Trio Blush and Highlighter Palette. And this is how it looks. And this right here retails for $48. It does have a shelf life of 18 months and it's made in Italy. So let's go ahead and see the new reformulated lipstick. The lipstick retails for $27. So here we have the NATASHA DENONA I Need a Nude My Dream lipstick, and this one is in the shade 11NB, which is a Natasha. And let's just look at it. I mean, the packaging, I couldn't resist. I couldn't, okay? So I really bought it, even though I regret it. I really bought it for the packaging. But here is the packaging from the lipstick. I really do think it's super cute. And here is the shade. Let's go ahead and just check the lip gloss because I don't know why. I mean, people don't like her lip glosses, but I have no problem with them whatsoever. This one is definitely going to be a little mauvey, a little pinky. You know, not my favorite shades, I gotta be honest with you guys, but this also has a shelf life of 18 months, also made in Italy, and this retails for $27 as well. And here we have the lip liner, have a shelf life of 18 months. I'm hoping that I'm seeing right, but if I'm making a mistake, I will put it somewhere up here. And it is also made in Italy, and yeah, this is how it looks. Yeah, really mauvey. Right. So I brought you in a little closer in my eyes, and I did use my P. Louise base. So let's go ahead and get into this palette right here. The first color that I want to use is the shade Unity, which is this one right here. I don't know what I'm creating. I'm just going to play with as many shades as I can. I'm going to create two different looks for you guys, and then we'll do a final look together again. Let's go ahead and press that color in on the outer corner. So it's blending again. You know, NATASHA DENONA has such an amazing formula. It really is blending like a dream. This is my second time going in with this shade, and you can already see the really beautiful pigmentation that it has. I'm being a little too heavy-handed, so I'm going to try to relax a little bit, just because I don't want to be just this shade. I do want to use other shades on the palette, so I am going to just bring it in. So now taking Carpathian, I don't know how to say it, is this shade right here, which is really similar to the one that we just used, which is Unity. You can see the difference on the pigmentation of this one. Automatically you do have a lot of pigment. I'm just going to add this shade from the outer corner to the inner corner, really on our crease. I'm going to go back with Unity and just blend the edges. And as you can see, you can definitely see a little bit of a difference in shades and tones, but not too much. So, you know, so I just added a little bit too much eyeshadows right here. So I'm just going to go back with my primer and use it as an eraser, just because it's going in a little bit too high up. Right, so now I'm going to take Aspiration to darken the outer V, and this one is like a brown purpley shade. I'm going to use that in the outer corner. Wow, this is beautiful. Look at that. It just gives you a really nice pigmentation. It blends super nicely. Just trying to shape it up right here. And you can see the Aspiration is definitely a little bit more cool. And Carpe Diem, it's a little bit more warm, but still they are playing really, really nice together. And I'm taking Aspiration and just adding it to the outer corner on my lower lashes and connecting it with what we did up here. You know what? The shade Invention is definitely calling my eye, so I am going to use that with my finger, and I'm going to place it down on almost all of our lid. Wow, okay. I'm just going back with the brush that we were using before and making sure that it's not going too high up. It is a little sheer from what I'm seeing, like right here. I don't know if you can tell, but it's a little sheer. You can definitely build it up though. And for the inner corner, I'm going to take Spontaneous, which is this one right here. And let's see how it applies on the inner corner of our eye. That's really beautiful. So I'm just going to bring it up to connect it like it's wrapping around the shade Invention. Just blending those two shades together. So I'm just going to take Carpe Diem again. If I'm saying it wrong all this time, please don't make fun of me. Alrighty. I'm just going to run that all over our lower lashes. I'm going to take Spontaneous a little bit in, just a really, really tiny bit inside. So just grabbing Invention and just adding it right here. But I do want to tell you that this shade, I feel like it's definitely going everywhere. I can see it all over my face. So if you want to avoid that, do your base last, do your eyes first, or you can just use a little bit of the Fix Plus or some kind of liquid so you can avoid so much fallout. But yeah, this is the first look. Let's go ahead and do the other eye. All right, so I'm taking Nurture right here and a fluffy brush, and this is going to be our transition shade. Now for the other eye is definitely going to be like the same kind of shape that we have going on. I'm going to add that to the outer corner and blend it to our above our crease, and then bringing it in. Even though this shade looks really light on the pan, you can definitely see the definition that it's creating. So now I'm going to take Familia and I'm going to start tapping that on our outer V and just blend it and bring it in just a little bit with whatever you have on your brush. All right, so I think it's this shade right here that is giving me a little bit of a hard time, just because I feel like it's a little darker here, and this one is her cream to powder formula. I feel like it's just staying a little darker here. I don't know if you guys can catch it. But yeah, that's the only thing that I am seeing. Maybe it was my primer, I don't know. I'm gonna have to retest that shade. But whenever I swatch it on my arm, like you can see that it just a little darker, and when you try to blend it out, it becomes darker in the middle. And I don't know, it gives you like a weird kind of blend. I don't know if the camera is catching it up, but is it me? I don't know. All right, let me just move on from that shade because I've been trying to blend it for a little while right here. It doesn't look super bad, but I can see a difference on the performance of this shadow. So let me just move on. I am going to take Serenity, which is this shade right here. Really nice, cool tone. I'm going to use my finger and I'm going to just press that on the middle of my eyelid. Yeah, definitely not like, wow, what a shade. In my opinion, I think that it's really like really subtle, nothing too special about Serenity in my opinion whatsoever. But I am going to use a Babies, which is this shade right here, and I'm going to add it to the inner corner and just blend it into Serenity. I like this shade, I really do. Even though it's like really nice and cool, it really is a beautiful shade. Serenity, not so much, but Babies is really beautiful. All right, so now using a really tiny brush like this and taking Serenity and just adding that on our lower lashes right in the middle, and then going to Babies again. And just adding that to the very inner corner. You can definitely leave it like this for every day, going to work, really nice and put together, sophisticated, super gorgeous. But then you can add something like a little bit more sparkle to it. And I'm going to just add a little bit of Thrill, which is this shade right here. It does feel like it's going to create a little bit of a contrast. I'm just going to add that right in the center to see what happens, because you know, we don't play with this palette, then how are we gonna know what happens? So Thrill brought a little something to the table, but nothing too crazy. It's not like over the top, really exaggerated. It's really nice for everyday. I still think that it is an everyday kind of look. The darkness right here that I was complaining about, it's just blend in with all of the shimmer shades. You cannot even see it anymore. And I really like this look for every single day. I think that it's a beautiful look. Like super easy on the go in my opinion, but let me know what you guys think out of these two looks right here. Let me just add a little bit of mascara for you guys. All right guys, so I brought you in a little closer so you guys can take a quick look at the eye look. So here is the first look and here is the second look. All right, so let's go ahead and use a blackout, and I'm just going to use a very tiny bit of it with the Sigma E45, and I'm going to start creating my shape. I'm going to take it on my lower lashes and just follow that line up. I'm not going to take it too high up. I'm just going to finish right there. So now taking aspiration with a smaller brush as well, and just making sure that that shade is right in the outer corner. Blending it into the blackout shade. My goodness. And using a little bit of the aspiration shade right above the blackout shade. All right, so I'm going to take Edgy, which is this really nice plummy shade, and it's not as deep as you would think it is, just because it's that cream to powder formula. So I'm just going to add that on the lid. Just going to shape it up a little bit towards our lid and blending that into both of the two shades that we just added. Making sure that we are creating that shape and just adding it right on top of what we did, just so I can peek through. So now taking Instinct and just adding it to your lid. And just going back with all of the shades and just blending it a little bit more. All right, so let's go ahead and do some fun stuff with this shade right here, which is called Vision. And I'm just going to pack it right on the lid. And I'm going to bring it all the way in. And I'm going to keep it on the lid. I'm not going to go too high up. Okay, I'm using my finger. I'm going to tap that right in the center. I'm going to use Thrill right in the inner corner. I'm just going to blend Blackout and Aspiration on the bottom. I'll clean it up because I don't want it to be too smoky. All right, guys, so we are almost done with the eyes. I just wanted to add a little bit of a thrill, just a little bit in the inner corner, a little bit more, like in the inner corner, and just bringing it up towards the inside, just because I feel like it gives it a little bit more of an oomph look for sure. But you can leave it the way that it was before, but I really like thrill right on top of the Triochrome shade, which is a Vision. I really do like that. So these are the eyes. I'm not going to do anything else to the eyes. I'm just going to leave it alone. So let's go ahead and move on to the face palette, and this one is called the Cream Blush, and this is the Glow Cream Base, and this one right here is the Dream Glow. So it goes on top. The blush definitely feels a little bit more on the powder side, not so creamy. Like, I didn't think it was actually a cream when I first swatched it. The middle shade, it kind of surprised me because I didn't read the names of it. So yeah, it is definitely a cream, and here is the highlighter. So let's see how it looks. I'm going to start with the cream highlighter. I am really hoping that it's not going to break my foundation. No, it's not. Okay, perfect. That looks beautiful, beautiful. But I wouldn't expect anything less from Natasha Denona when it comes to like highlighters. I think her highlighters are absolutely stunning, and the cream highlighters are just really nice and gorgeous. Okay, and now I'm going to take the same sponge, going to just add the blush. I'm taking a brush just to blend those two together. So the blush definitely doesn't feel as creamy as the middle shade feels. I'm really liking this blush, the color, the tone, the way it's blending, the way that it actually looks on the skin. It's not emphasizing any of my texture. It's looking really nice and glowy and dewy and just beautiful. So let's add now the powder highlight. And this is something that I know for sure is going to emphasize my texture a little bit. I would have just left it the way it was before, but you know, we're here testing things out. But it's not emphasizing the texture as much as I thought it would. It is really nice and gorgeous. Using the lip liner from the collection. I find with these lip liners, I definitely have to clean my foundation on my lips. Otherwise, it just changes the tone completely and it looks like grayish. It does not look good. So just make sure you do that. And here is the lipstick. Okay, it's not that bad. It still has like that vanilla scent to it, really nice. It is a really nice shiny like satin finish. It's definitely not a matte, as you can see. It gives you a lot of shine, so you really don't need a lip gloss in my opinion. But if you want it to be a little bit more glossy, let's go ahead and use this gloss. I'm just going to add it to the center. So here is the final look. What do you guys think? Alright guys, so this is the final look. Let me tell you right away, I absolutely love the face palette. I love the color of the blush, the way that it applied on the skin, as well as the cream highlighter and the highlighter on top. I think that this little trio right here is absolutely stunning, beautiful quality. I really enjoy this. Let me just take a look really quickly at the face palette from the first one. This one is the Glam Face palette, and I want to see how close it is with the blush. So here is the swatch from the Glam Face palette, and this one is from the My Dream. I mean, this one is less cool and this one is really nice and neutral, a little bit leaning cool in my opinion. Right, so let's go ahead and take a look at this two palettes right here. The one on the top is My Dream palette, and the one on the bottom is the Retro palette. You can see the difference. This one definitely leans, the Retro leans a little bit more cool, more rosy, not as much of the same shades on the very top. It doesn't remind me of it. The purpleness is more like a mauvey purpleness, not so true of a purple base. It definitely leans, Retro leans a little bit more mauvey in my opinion than comparing it to like the true purple on the My Dream palette. Just taking a look at this palette right here, which is the Love palette on the bottom and My Dreams palette. The purple tones on this ones are really bright, more fun, more like definitely more fun. I love this palette. The Love palette is one of my favorite ones, and this one again is really like sophisticated and not as bright, not in your face kind of palette. And here we have another favorite of mine. This one is the Glam palette. Right next to it, definitely more grayish, more coolness on this palette comparing it to the My Dream palette. I don't think that if you have both, like you can still get the My Dream palette based on the three comparisons that I just did. Now the Trio Chrome palette is this one right here, and I just want to swatch the shade Color Flip. Right, so we have the Trio Chrome up on the top, and this one right here on the pinky one is the one from the My Dream palette. The shade Color Flip on the Trio Chrome is definitely similar to the one that we have on the My Dream palette. All right guys, so let's go ahead and talk about the eyeshadow palette. I already said my piece on the face palette, which I really do like. You don't need the lipstick, of course. If you are my skin tone, you can still rock it. I think that is a really nice, beautiful pink shade. Do you absolutely need it? You have to look in your collection and see if you have similar shades to it, and maybe you can just totally pass on it. So when it comes to the eyeshadow palette, which is the fun part of the collection, just because I absolutely love eyeshadow palettes, I gotta say that it gave me a lot of versatility, especially with the three looks that I recreated. They were completely different, which I absolutely love that. So these two shades right here really are my favorite shades in the whole entire palette, just because I absolutely love these type of colors. The only thing that I have to say in regards of nature is when I swatch it, I can see the pigmentation not spreading out evenly. Like it was just darker in one spots more than the other ones as I swatch it with you guys, and I showed you on the eyes. That's the only thing that I noticed, but once you put a shimmer on top of it, it kind of like disguises it, and like it works. So that was my only shade that I can have a little bit of a complaint about. When it comes to this palette, I'm not gonna lie, I really do like it, but it's not my favorite. Like I have other Natasha Denona eyeshadow palettes that I think that are more fun just because of my style, but for an everyday palette with a little bit of twist on it, with a little bit of glam on it, this palette is absolutely stunning. So it really depends on your style. What is it that you are looking for? If you are looking for like bam shadows, like super colorful and absolutely amazing, like duochromes and triochromes on your eyelid, this is not going to give you it. So even though I have the triochrome on my eyes, I still can wear this out. It's not going to be looking like too bright or intense. It's not that type of a duochrome or a triochrome. It's really not. But overall, the palette I think is absolutely beautiful. It's really well done. The shadows just blend so nicely, and it really did not take me a long time to create 3 looks. And I am very pleased with the quality, the pigmentation, the blendability, but that is all things that I absolutely love about Natasha Denona. So when it comes to her formula, it's just really beautiful. So it really is going to depend on the color story that you are looking for. If you are looking for something a little bit more subtle, maybe the retro palette will be for you. That palette was totally not for me. It's just too subtle. It's not giving me anything of like nothing to impact me, nothing to like make me feel like wow about it, but this one definitely does. So the looks that I created, it gives me that a little bit more from the retro. So whatever the retro lack, this one is definitely giving it to me, but not to the max that I know that she can. So it's still giving me something more than retro, that's for sure. And the versatility on this palette, absolutely stunning, but I'm still like, I want more. Like I want the shadows from the face palette, just that glitter shades, like those like, so like the shades from the Glam, it's just, that is like in another level of glitterness right here. That's what I'm talking about. This is what I want from her. Like I want all of her shimmer shades to just look as blinding. But that is it, my friends. That is it for this video. I hope that this was helpful, and if you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comment section. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and I'll see you guys next time.